I'm going to be laughing this whole entire time because this experience, this episode is another episode of You Have to Meet My Friends where I go live and then I call my friends randomly and they have no idea that they're going to be on the podcast till they're on the podcast. I hope we'll get my brother today because I'm going to give him a hard time and I'm going to give him the business. We've also got a stand-up comedian named Linda Schwartz who just called me, and we're going to call her back, and you guys are going to be able to hear the conversation, which would be amazing. But again, you have to meet my friends where I go live and I call my friends randomly and they have no idea that they're on the podcast till they're actually on the podcast. So let's get this party started.
Nothing more on my mind. I got two shines, so every day I climb. Work in the morning, work in the evening. We's achieving, cause we believing. It's for certain, we put the work in. We ain't stopped just because it's hurting. Right before your eyes, so it's coming to no surprise. The takeover is televised. Over and over and over again. Make no mistake, we continue to win. Defeat never known, cause I will not lose. They wanna mimic my moves, but can't walk in my shoes.
Welcome to another episode of You Have to Meet My Friends, and where I go live and I call my friends randomly. I'm going to set up, actually get my water bottle out of the way there. I'll set up the new hat that's coming, and that's from smalltownhatsco.com. And we're doing a collaboration with them, which would be great. My buddy Steve Long, if you didn't get a chance to be able to watch the podcast this last episode, but check it out. This guy is absolutely amazing. So let's jump into this thing because we got a call from none other than Linda Schwartz. So let's see if we can get Linda Schwartz on the line. One of the top-ranked comedians, and she was just at the Vibe Experience.
Kelly.
Linda.
What up, dog?
Hold
How
on.
you doing?
Let me say the whole thing. Linda Schwartz, the
Schwartz.
hottest comic out there.
World class, baby.
Hey, what do you say? This sounds crazy, but what do you say we get you on the podcast again?
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love it.
That
I
would
would
be amazing.
absolutely love it.
That would be cool.
I would do that anytime. Although this week I'm up in Idlewild just integrating, contemplating,
Okay.
Reflecting,
Okay.
journaling,
That's good. What
being with myself.
being with yourself. What if I was to tell you you're live on the podcast right now on an episode called
What?
You Have to Meet My Friends, where I go live and I call my friends randomly?
Are you fucking serious? Are you serious right now?
Yeah, and you just cussed on the podcast, so it's a party now.
Oh, yay!
Yay.
Hey, sorry, y'all.
No, you
I
can-
ain't sorry.
No,
I
you
ain't sorry.
You ain't. You
I
just
ain't got
dropped.
nothing to be sorry about.
You dropped the
Hey,
F-bomb.
I'll be dropping all kinds of bombs everywhere I go.
Speaking
Everywhere I
of
am.
dropping bombs and bringing fire, you were amazing at the Vibe Experience, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. I had the best freaking time. Like, seriously, I honestly went in with no expectations
Well,
about
thank you.
how it was going to go.
That sounds bad. I went in with no expectations, you piece of ass.
No.
I'm just joking with you.
Not like, because I kind of give like, and I was telling my cousin this the other night about like how you and I met. And I was like, I don't do research on people. I like to meet people where they are in that moment, in that presence, in that communication with them. So I had no idea like who you were, what you did, what I was showing up to, what I was saying yes to. And then when we got to the Vibe Experience, I was like, wow, this is, and I kind of showed up like kind of a clean slate or just a blank canvas to kind of be like, okay, like what am I here to absorb? What am I here to get? And I have to tell you, I was like just this empty vessel. And by the end of that first day before the performance portion of the evening
Yeah.
or the day, like I just felt I was so full. My heart was so full. By the time James spoke, I was like, yeah, I felt the energy shift in the room. Like I was telling my cousin this like yesterday. I was like, I got there a little late because I flew in that morning, and um I missed.
Disrespectful.
No, shoot, had you got me in earlier, I would have been there on time. Ain't my fault. It was a person who booked my ticket.
I
Shoot,
tried to get the
ain't me.
Greyhound. I tried to get the Greyhound working, but it wasn't on schedule. So
No, so I mean, just like I missed Keith's talk, unfortunately, so I didn't get to experience him. And then I
yeah,
got there right in like the tail end of John's speech, and then Barron went on, and I really, really got what he was putting down, like just being present, like bringing yourself to presence, and like being here right now, with people where they are and where you are in this very moment, right? And then when James got on, like the energy in the room completely shifted. The presence was there. Like he was like in 15 minutes, it was like the most phenomenal 15 minutes I'd ever experienced in like a public setting like that.
yeah.
And it was just amazing. So by the time that ended, I was like, wow, my heart is so full. I love these people. I don't know who they are. I met new friends. John Nelson and I are like BFFs. We shared an Uber. We shared many Ubers, actually. I think we might have like shared like 3 or 4 Ubers that night. And we seriously, like, we're best friends already. Like,
So cool.
he's one of the best people ever. And then James and I, like,
Second best person.
oh,
Sorry, just wrong.
well, I mean, I mean, oh
Hey,
yeah, you're
come
the
on,
first
come
best. I'm
on,
sorry, my
come
bad,
on.
my bad. Um, you're the best person right in front of me right now.
There we go.
And 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 yeah, and like, then we got to the performance portion of the evening, and like, oh my gosh, Claudia, what?
Awesome, right?
Come on,
Hey, Claudia Ryan.
come
Claudia Ryan.
on,
If you have not heard of Claudia Ryan, hey, Linda, am I correct? Like that
dude.
original that she was talking about, Ladies Night Out. I don't know if the title
Oh
of it.
my
That is
gosh,
a banger. It's a hit.
yeah, total. Like she's like the country's best kept secret.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like I'm like, we need to get this girl on billboards and stuff. She was like incredible. And then the 2 comics that opened for me, phenomenal. Like the little boy, I don't even remember his name, but Kai, Kai,
Yes.
Kai. Kai was, yeah, he was super fun. He warmed up the crowd for me. And then when I got on stage, I was so comfortable, so present, and I had the best freaking time. It was amazing. And then after that, James's wife came up to talk to me. She got me in the green room, and we just got connected and got present and got related. And oh my gosh, like she's my sister. I love her so much. And James, oh man, like
Hey,
I left there with so many new friends. I can't even tell you like what my life like just how expanded my life got after that event. For real.
well,
Like James, I mean, John and I text like every day.
really,
Yes.
he is.
That's my dude.
He's an
He's so
unbelievable
cool.
human. He is an
I know.
unbelievable human. Like if you were to explain it to somebody, because it's like I try and do this where the vibe experience, even when I was explaining it to you, it's not a explainable thing unless you've been there. Does
Yeah,
that make
it's
sense?
something you have to, you call it an experience because it is an experience. You have to be in person to experience that shit. Because like, listen, I've
You've been to everything.
invested I've been to so many live events. I've spent the last 20 years investing in myself, doing personal development, pouring into myself, paying thousands of dollars to go to live events and like personal development conferences and personal development seminars. And it's all the same stuff, like people get up there and they talk and they talk and they talk, and you listen and you listen and you take notes. But like by the end of it, you're like, okay, what did I write down? What did I get out of this? Who did I meet? And what you curated was just an amazing way to get connected and get related to people. You're like, forget the business part of it. Let's talk about and let's get to know each other as people, as friends, as like, comrades, as people who are going through this journey of life together. And there's nothing like, I mean, it was a short event and it was compact and it was precise. It was curated just beautifully. And honestly, like, I was like, wow, I didn't even pay nothing to be here. I was like, I would have paid like $1,000 to be here. You know what I like, or more, you know what I mean? So, and for the price of admission, I saw what you were charging. I'm telling you, it's worth like 10 times more than that.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I thought it was so much fun because how crazy was it to have the retired attorney general come up and rap on stage?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was in the green room talking to Nikki, and I missed that whole thing. Like I was literally, yeah,
Well, it
I
was.
missed the whole
I thought
thing.
what was so cool though is like I saw you where you were making real friends, like you were connecting. Like I walked back in the green room, and your salty ass looked at me like, "Why are you in my green room?" Because you and James and Nikki, you guys were having your time, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry for
You're
interrupting
like,
you new friends." You know what I'm saying?
these my people now.
Yeah.
You might have introduced us, but they mine now.
It was awesome. I mean, and honestly, like, you
A
know,
hand shovel. Hold on, I'm sorry.
oh,
My
no
neighbor just
problem.
walked by.
Okay.
I don't
He
know,
needs a
something we
hand
can dig
shovel.
that dirt up with. Yeah. So yes, it was incredible. Like I seriously, I mean, I was making I literally walked away from that event with like a handful of new friends for
That's
real.
awesome. And
Like not just like
you
acquaintances and shit, like
you guys went to the
friends.
Westerner too. You guys did the Westerner afterwards,
Oh
right?
yeah, we went to the Westerner. We danced. We got down.
Can you imagine,
We got
Linda?
down.
Like, can you imagine, like, if this, it could be a joke. What does a lawyer, a musician, a comedian, you know what I mean? Like a guy in the hospitality industry. What do all those people have in common? And that's the beginning of a joke.
It could be. Not my joke though, because I don't like them kind of jokes. I'm just kidding.
Have you now?
I'm just
Now,
messing with you. I'm just
while
messing
you're
with you.
out in Idlewild, you write? Are you writing right now?
I was in the middle of journaling. Yeah, just all the expansions that
No,
I've
I'm
had
saying
since.
jokes, Linda. I'm saying jokes. You writing
Oh
jokes?
no, no. I'm on to the next level stuff now. Like after meeting all these people, I'm like, I gotta put the jokes on pause for a minute and see where like for real. I'm serious. I mean, it's like, of course I'm gonna curate some more jokes in the meantime, but I'm like really up here to reflect about these last few weeks of my life after your event and after all of the investments that I've been doing for myself in all the other personal development realms that I've been doing,
Yeah.
So it's I'm just like on this next level trip right now, just because like I don't know if you've talked to James lately, but
Yeah.
he and I are going to be working together, and he's like, I'm going to put you on some of my stages. And I'm like, I, what do I say to that? What
Yeah.
do I say to that? So
You say yes, and then you go do
yes,
it,
and thank you.
and you knock the stuff out the park.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think it's awesome. Did you capture anything from you off the top of the head while you were there? Was there any experiences that you think that you've started to workshop as far as a joke that you experienced while you were there?
Oh no, I haven't been thinking about jokes since I left. I've been thinking about all the serious shit. For real.
We just
I'm
we just done turned a
I
comedian serious. What's up with that?
and so, it is crazy. It's crazy. But that's where all the introspection comes in, and eventually it'll probably turn into something funny.
Yeah,
But like right now, this is how I'm like culling my work. I'm
it's
culling
awesome.
my experiences, and first you got to get serious and deal with all the trauma and all the things, and then you look at it, and then I'll start looking at it from the comedic lens. But honestly, like I've this is the deep work that
Yeah,
comics do,
yeah.
for me at least. Like that's my process. I look and reflect and contemplate and, integrate and digest, and then something comes forward.
If you had to explain it, right? So if you had to explain, a person was like, okay, hit me with it. Like, because when we do these type of experiences, we were doing them. We've been doing, not this exact event. We're going to be doing September, by the way, here in Carlsbad. I don't know if you know that, but
Nice.
so it'll be here in Carlsbad. So we want you there.
Of
But
course.
but would always tell people, like, try not to explain it to someone who wasn't there, because it'll just frustrate you. Because as you try and say, like, oh, there was an attorney there. Oh yeah, there was a blah, blah, blah there. Oh yeah, I went through this. They're not going to get it, and you're just going to get frustrated. If you tried to explain it, how would you explain it?
Listen, I mean, what you call it is explanation enough. The vibe experience, it's a vibe. You don't know what you're going to get till you get there, because once you get there, you're like, holy, this isn't anything like I've ever experienced before, because it is a vibe. It is like, you just have to be there to experience it. It's not about the the surface level stuff that you're going to get. It's about the deeper stuff that you feel and you can't explain. Like, it's the connectedness, it's the presence, it's the relatedness, it's the, like, real people just being real people. I don't know how else to explain that. Like, you can't, you really can't it's like telling somebody who's never tasted a blueberry, like, what a blueberry tastes like. You just got to put one in your mouth and chew on that bitch and eat it. And, like, experience it for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
And I mean, that's how I would say it. I with a lot of enthusiasm, obviously.
well, I tell you, I have to compliment you too, because when we were going into this one, I was so excited about bringing stand-up comedy. Well, you and I's experience on the podcast before, where you did the first live set on the podcast, like, ever.
Yeah.
And you headlined the very first stand-up, stand-up comedy for the Vibe experience, for the Vibe Room. And people told me, they were like, dude, don't do it. It bombs. It doesn't work. You can't translate it. And I was like, I don't believe that to be true. I just think that
Yeah.
it's about the room. And I thought
Yeah.
what was so cool is, say with James hit for 15 minutes, and it was wild because the room wasn't about James. It was about everybody else in the room.
Yeah. 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 I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, you can't explain that energy, that synergy, that, um, you know, relatedness, the united consciousness that happens when someone powerful like that gets in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, there's no explanation for it, because you can't explain an experience. You have to be there to experience it yourself.
Absolutely.
And I just have to say, I mean, I've called you, I think, probably like 3 times, 2 or 3 times, to leave you messages, because I was like, I gotta talk to you.
I've been call screening. I was like, look, I don't want to talk to Linda. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
she's
That's
big
what I felt.
time.
It.
She must be out in Idlewild digging holes with her neighbor and her campsite. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
Look,
know.
I'm about to get down and dirty.
Yeah. No,
That's what I'd be doing up here.
But I appreciate it. I mean, I appreciate that part. And like I told you from the very beginning, and there's also some things too, I was talking with James about, that I want to workshop with you, which I think will be good. But it was just, honestly, you were hilarious. I was just talking with Jen. Do you remember Jen, Lotzi's friend?
Yes.
I was just talking with her, and she was talking about how she was just rolling on the ground. She just loved you. So it was awesome. Everybody loved you.
It was great. I mean, so many people came up to me afterward and was like, I was dying laughing. I was crying so hard. And one guy, Nick, Nick.
That's my brother. That's my brother. How are you gonna
real
say
brother?
That's my brother? No, that's my brother. Like, he's what's it called? Let's see. He is
He's your friend brother, or your blood related brother?
My my sister-in-law, who's my wife's sister, is married to him. So it's my brother.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
How?
I
Hey,
see what you're
hold on.
saying.
How are you gonna be Asian talking about is he a real cousin? You know you got cousins that ain't your
I
cousins.
know. I'm related to all the
You know
Asians.
that. Hey,
I
how
know.
funny was it when Kyler really thought you owned a nail salon?
Oh my! Everybody thought I owned a nail salon and a liquor store.
And when Kyler
That
came up
that
and
was
he
my
was like, hey,
opening thing.
he was like, hey Miss Linda,
I know.
uh, you owned a liquor store.
He was like, "Why are you dressed so nice?" I was like, "I'm getting on stage, baby." And he was like, "What? I thought you owned the liquor store and the nail salon." I was like, "No, I do comedy, dude." He was like, "What? For real?"
That was so
He
funny.
was like, "For real?" I was like,
Oh my
"Yeah, yeah,
gosh.
dude."
Well, I mean,
Everybody
and
thought,
setting that up because James and I, obviously, you became like family with us right away. But James is constantly like we're sitting in the back of the room, and James, he's like my brother, a very older brother, super older, like way older brother. But he's he's constantly saying things that you can't say in public that if somebody
"Oh
heard,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it was just
oh
that
yeah."
experience was hilarious.
I don't know if you did this intentionally, and I think you did because it was the last flight out of Utah. But you booked me on the last flight out of Utah at like 10 o'clock at night,
No,
and um,
I set you up that you know what was weird is when I looked at that, I set you up to fly out early, so it must have been the PM as opposed to the AM. Oh my gosh, I
well,
am
I don't
so
know what
sorry.
happened, but it happened perfect. No, no, no. It was perfect because I ended up going to dinner with James and Nikki and their son and their son's friend, and we went to
Oh,
Capitol Grill on Sunday evening, and it was great. And we had the best freaking time. Like they were just ragging on each other the whole time. I have to tell you a story. I can't say it on the air because it's really off color. It's so off color. But like I have to tell you when we're off, it was hysterical. It was so hysterical. And I just love we laughed literally the entire time. The entire time. And it was just the best flipping time I've ever had. Like, it was amazing.
well, James
It was
is. Oh
incredible.
my gosh.
Thanks for the hand shovel. I'm gonna come get it. Oh, he
Did,
said, come get it.
did he?
Thank you.
I love the reality part of this because when I started this show on the podcast, I whenever I would tell someone that I would go live and then call my friends and they would have no idea, you get a mixed bag. So you're in Idlewild. Are you camping right now?
No, I'm at my writing cabin.
Oh, you are.
So
Okay.
I have a
Oh,
yeah,
that's
I
how
have a
you
little
do
I
it.
have
That's
a
how you do it.
yeah, I have
That's
property up here. I have
that's
a little
big
writing
time.
cabin. It ain't big time, but it's medium time right
How
now.
you
It's gonna be big time next week.
how
Um,
you gonna call it a writing cabin like that's a thing? A writing cabin ain't a thing.
it is my thing.
I know, but you just said it like everyone's like, oh, I'm at my writing cabin. Like everyone has a writing cabin. Like people have
Well,
cabins.
well, I special. I special. I created it for myself.
That's awesome. How often do you go
Yeah,
up and
but
how long do you go up and write?
um, I come up more often now, just because I'm kind of going through some life changes at the moment. Um, but yeah, I come up this week. I'm staying. Sometimes I'll stay for a weekend, and I'm staying for a whole week this time because I've got a lot of work to do, with like writing and stuff. Um, but yeah, I come up whenever I have the chance. It's amazing. Have you ever been up here?
I never have. I never have.
Oh, I have. It's a tiny little cabin, but when you ain't got the kids, because it ain't big enough to house all four of y'all, I'll send you and your wife up here. It's super sweet. It's like a tiny house.
That's awesome. That is so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So cool. Well, I want to
But
tell
I've
you
got
what's
some
that?
work to do around the property. That's why I've got
That's why you
a
got to
hand.
go.
I asked my neighbor to get a hand shovel for me because I'm about to
Yeah,
go dig up some dirt in a minute
that's good. Well,
and
I
go discover some
appreciate you.
things.
I appreciate you so much. We're gonna talk. You got to tell me the story about James that you can't say on air.
I
Um,
cannot.
most of the
It
stories,
it was
honestly, with James, most of the stories you can't because
no.
you can't like you have to give so much context and then like I mean he's one of my best friends and he happens to be this is wild because when I if I make a joke about him and people don't know our personalities and our friendship, I'll make a joke and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, he's an amputee." I'm like,
I
"He's
can't believe you
James.
said that.
He's
Yeah.
James."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's my brother.
Yeah.
And so not only that being a 6'4", 6'5", bald black man with freckles, which if you can imagine that,
Yeah.
then with only one leg, there's a lot of
That rotten
ammunition.
banana though, that rotten banana bread got me so
Hey, people hated me. Like I wish that you
Oh
would have
my
been with
god.
like you well you we were on stage together.
Oh,
When
yeah,
you looked
yeah.
out at the
You
faces,
called him out. It
you look
was so funny.
you look at the faces and some people are like, "Why was he so mean to people?" And James's son got like he got a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
he was like, "Oh
James
man."
Jr.
So I called James Jr. I texted him. I was like, "Hey man, just wanted to let you know that me and your dad razz each other like that." You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I got to make sure I
I
have
mean,
respect for my man.
to be with James though, like you cannot be offended by anything. Like you got to let that go. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna rag on you, but it's all out of love. Like that's the intention behind it, and
Yeah.
you feel that. You know what I mean? It's not like to offend you or to hurt you in any way. Exactly. It's like having a big older brother that just rags on you all the time,
Way
and it's
older.
amazing. I love it.
Way older,
Yeah,
James, if you're
yeah.
listening,
He's he's so freaking cool. Like I
he's
love him.
awesome.
Nikki and I are like best friends
Nikki is
now.
great,
Like
isn't she?
she's legit. Oh my gosh. Like she's the best.
Do you know? I don't know if you know this. I think I said it at the Vibe Experience. My son, when he turned 13, we asked him who you want at your birthday party, which we were going to a restaurant there in Utah. He named Aunt Nikki and Uncle James first. He didn't. He
Oh,
didn't. He didn't even.
they're amazing
He
people,
didn't
man.
name his aunts and uncles. Like he didn't name anybody. He named James and Nikki, and he was like, as
That,
long as they're
yeah,
there, we're good.
yeah, yeah. They just have a way of like lifting everybody's spirits and like they're just real, they're the real deal for sure.
Absolutely.
And I fell in love with them the moment I met both of them. So I mean, I love everybody and I loved everybody there. I mean, again, John Elson and I literally are like best friends. Like he's so freaking cool. He sent me a gift like literally the following like after the event
Yeah.
because I was telling him, I was like, I'm making eggs. And we were talking about like, he was telling me he went to culinary school and all this stuff. And I was like, I'm always looking for the best, like ways to perfect my eggs. and, he sent me an egg cooker, like
He's
to
such
make
a
the
cool
perfect
guy.
soft boiled eggs. He's such a cool guy. Like he's so dope. I love him.
I actually got him yesterday on this show. So you have to meet my friend. So I called him, and he was dying laughing. I talked to him yesterday, and
Oh yeah.
he didn't know he was on the pod. He's like, Kelly, I could have been like he's like, I take your call all the time, and I make it a point. But he's like, man, I could have been getting in the shower to do this. And I was like, no one would have saw you. Like you could talk. You could talk to me whenever.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. You're lucky I wasn't sitting on the toilet. I was just out here journaling because I would have taken your call on the toilet too. So, because I do that with everybody. I do that with all my friends.
Linda, you're
I
amazing.
don't even care.
Hey,
I don't even care.
hey, you better get to digging some soil, um, and hanging out in your writing cabin.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna be excavating my inner self and my land over here.
you are awesome. I can't wait to see you. So
Likewise.
when do you get back?
Sometime next week. I'm thinking probably Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll
Well,
connect for sure.
okay, sounds good. Well,
All right. Love
have
you.
a wonderful day. Love you too. I'll see you soon.
You too.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Bye, everybody.
That's the kind of cool things that you get on You have to meet my friends, Linda Schwartz. You guys could see see her profile right there. She is absolutely amazing, phenomenal comedian. But I tell you what, the Vibe Experience could do for every single one of you. The next one is in September in Carlsbad. We don't have the exact date, but we're working on that right now. So hopefully you have a phenomenal day. My name is Kelly Cardenas, and I'm officially off the hot seat. Peace, love, and soul.
Nothing more on my mind. I got two shines, so every day I climb. Work in the morning, work in the evening. We's achieving, cause we believing. It's for certain, we put